What's happening to the animals of Houston is a crime. Every year, thousands of unwanted creatures are born in our city, then left to fend for themselves. It's time to come to the aid of the innocent, and you are our best defense. Have your pet spayed or neutered. Become a friend of Bark and save a life. This message brought to you by the Advertising Federation Houston.
Hi, my name is Rhea. I'm with Friends of Bark, a nonprofit organization that works with the City of Houston Animal Shelter to help the animals that are in their care find loving homes. All of the donations made to Friends of Bark go directly to help the animals at the shelter have a better life. We provide them with dog runs, medical supplies. We assist animals that come into the shelter that are injured and need special attention. As an animal lover, one of the worst days of my life was standing in the back room at the shelter and watching a line of dogs, one after another, be taken back into the room to be euthanized. And on that day, it came to me that we really need to do something about spay and neuter in the Houston area. Not only get them adopted out, but there's so many coming in, there's just not enough homes. So spay and neuter is really the only option to lower the number of animals coming into the shelter so that the number of euthanizations are lowered. We can build more shelters and fill them, and build more and fill them, but until the citizens take responsibility for their pets by spaying or neutering, there will never be enough home for all of the animals that are born. The simple act of spreading the word about the importance of spay and neuter will help decrease the number of animals euthanized in the city of Houston each year, and that is everyone's goal.
I'm Guru Gyan, and this is Angel. Angel wasn't named by me, she was named by the angel behind the camera who rescued Angel. So Angel, we're very lucky because Angel was brought to a shelter with 4 newborn puppies, and if she hadn't been rescued the very next day, they would all have been put to sleep. They would have all been killed because the shelter can't keep a mama with newborn puppies. They just don't have the means to take care of them. So Angel came and lived with her foster mom and all of her puppies. I was lucky enough to get to come and visit them. And I hadn't had a dog for 4 years. I was waiting for the right dog to come along. And when her puppies were old enough, I knew that this was the dog for me. And Angel is really an angel. She walks with me. We walk every morning. She follows right behind me. She doesn't go anywhere without me. And we're just lucky that she was saved. So thank you for all the rescuers out there and all the foster parents.
Hi, I'm Mike Kinsella with Friends of Bark, B-A-R-C. We're a nonprofit group that works with the City of Houston Shelter. We are not Bark. People sometimes get us mistaken. Friends of Bark is a nonprofit group, 501c3, formed about 7 years ago. Our main goal is to help the City of Houston, not run the shelter, but make it a better place for the animals, the dogs and cats there, and the employees and the volunteers that come there. We fund events, we do adoptions at the shelter, we supplement all the income at Bark. We paid for a vet at one time, we put shade runs over the dog areas. Our goal is to provide adoption benefits, days to take dogs out, grooming, bathing, better food, medicines, spay and neuter equipment, comfort for the dogs. We've Corunda beds are in every dog kennel thanks to Friends of Bark. We raise money from people donating that care about the shelter, but we are not run by the shelter. We do as we vote to do, as we mandate. Bark asks us for help many times, and we've accommodated them every time they've asked. The shelter has changed dramatically over the years. Adoption events every Saturday are drawing huge crowds. Our adoption numbers are ranging from 40, 50, 60, as high as 102 one day on a Saturday. Half-price adoptions, free hamburgers, hot dogs, chips, and drinks. And it's just a lot of fun. We have moonwalks, we have popcorn, we have snow cone machines. We're trying to make a family event out of this so the whole family can come, walk the animals, play with the animals, bathe them, groom them, get to know animals on a personal basis and learn what animal would be good for them, whether it's a dog or a cat. They spend some time with them in the yards. The cat house, newly reopened, has petting rooms so kids can go in on their own and play with the animals. It's just a family function that we really want people to come to. Whether they adopt or not, there's so much to do there. Just walking dogs alone is a helpful thing. We walk 120 dogs every Saturday, and it may be the only time that dog gets out of the shelter all week long. The staff is understaffed, doesn't have the time to walk the dogs, to take them out, to play with them, to bond with them, to socialize them. That's what we try to do Saturdays and Sundays. And the more volunteers we get, the more animals we can get out there and get walked, and it makes everything better. We have groomers coming, we have bathers coming on weekends to make the animals more presentable. So if you're looking for a dog or a cat, come to the shelter on a Saturday or Sunday specifically. They're open 5 to 6 days a week now, so we're closed on Mondays, and we're there to make it a fun day for you and a good experience for you and your family. One of our main issues at Bark is spaying and neutering. Animals are coming in at an alarming rate, either from spaying the trucks, the animal control officers are picking them up daily, and people are dropping animals off at the shelter at huge numbers. On days when we've adopted out 70 and 80 animals, 120 and 140 have been dropped off at the shelter. We're not making progress, people. We need animals to be spayed and neutered. It's not a cultural issue, it's not a macho issue, it's an issue that is important to the city of Houston. And many animals that are being born here is too many. We cannot adopt out the animals that come into the shelter, the numbers that are coming in. If you want to experience the miracle of birth, people always tell me that's their reason for not spaying and neutering. That may be the miracle, but the miracle is not the trash bags at Bark that go out with the puppies in them every day that have to be euthanized because there's too many animals in the shelter. There's no room to hold them all, and there's not enough people to adopt them all. Animals don't need to be born. We have plenty in the city of Houston. There's over 100,000 animals killed in this city every year due to lack of spaying and neutering. One of the main goals of Friends of Bark and Bark is going to be to form a low-cost spay and neuter clinic and adoption center over on South Wayside Drive. Speaking on responsible pet ownership, if every person in the city would take responsibility for their pet and their lifestyle, get involved, volunteer, everybody does a little bit, it eliminates the need for a few people to do a lot. There's so many people in the city and so few volunteers who really need you to come out and help. You'll realize it's very rewarding, it's a lot of fun, and you'll leave there excited about it and want to come back the next week. I personally have been involved with Bark over 10 years now as a volunteer. Seeing animals leave that place with their little tails wagging and their butts going out gets me emotional. I'm trying not to do that right now. Now you see dogs leaving every weekend with new families, happy, tails wagging. It's a joyous feeling for me. It's rewarding for them to see them leave and not come back. This is your shelter. It's my shelter, it's your shelter, it's my life now. And I hope you can make it a part of your life as often as possible, but any little bit you can do to help will be appreciated.
Hi, my name is Maggie Anspatch. I live in Manville, Texas, in the country, and I was just wanting to tell you today how important it is to have your animals spayed and neutered. My husband and I have cats and dogs, and every one of these animals have come into our lives, and they're strays. And as soon as we get them in our home, we get them spayed and neutered, and then we've got a friend that is a lifetime companion for us. When we get our little puppies and kittens and little goats, little ponies, they're all so cute when they're little, and everyone just loves a brand new little animal, but we forget when we take these animals into our homes that they're to be our lifetime companions and that you just don't get rid of them in about a year and then get you a new little puppy or a kitten. So if we don't take care of our animals that we acquire by them, they end up at an abandoned animal shelter, and they'll either be put to sleep or they'll be sitting there for months and months hoping that someone will take care of them from then on. Please get your animals spayed and neutered. Otherwise, if you don't, they keep breeding, and that's not good health for the animal. And then they keep getting puppies, and they keep getting kittens, and then before you know it, we have so many. And then what happens? Well, they're all put to sleep, and they deserve a better life than that. This week I adopted Sammy. He's a little weenie dog, and he is so precious. He's 9 years old, has 2 teeth. He's partly blind, and his hearing's not all that well. And I acquired him from a animal rescue group out of Paris, Texas. And he is so wonderful. All of his life he was in a little cage in a puppy mill, so he was used just for breeding purposes. He's never been outside of that cage his whole life. He's slept, gone to the restroom, all in this cage. So therefore, this week when I've got him home, I'm so happy to have him. He's so beautiful, and he should have been neutered years ago, but they've used him here just to breed. And now he's so messed up mentally that he doesn't even want to come to me. And then when I finally do get him, he just has his tail wagging, and he's so happy. So I hope I have Sammy for a long, long time, for I can just show him how much I love him and how much he should have been treated better years ago than what he was put through all of his life. On behalf of the new member of my family, Sammy, and all the poor animals that are living all their lives in puppy mills, please adopt. Don't shop or breed.